Hi, I Aziz welcome you to CoedMaster. In this video, we are going to solve this problem. And the problem is given as count digits of a number. So let's get started. Let's see this problem. We are given a number and we have to find number of digits of that number. For example, if we are given input as 945, our function should output 3 because the number of digits in this number are 3. Next, if we are given an input as 87, then our function should output 2 because the number of digits in 87 is 2. Similarly, if the input is given as 5, our function should return 1 because the number of digits in 5 is only 1. Here we are assuming that our number is always greater than 0. Alright. So now you understood the question. Let's pause this video and think about a solution to solve this problem. So before we move on to solve this problem, let's see an interesting property of number 10. When we divide any number by 10, we get another number, right? If you see the relation between these two terms, we can say that if we divide a number by 10, we get a number and the number of digits in that number is going to be 1 less than the original number, right? Here it is 945 and we get 94 after division by 10. Similarly, if we divide 87 by 10, we get only 10. And if we divide 5 by 10, we get 0. It means in all the cases, you can see that the last number is gone, right? So the question is why this is happening. So let's see this in detail. So when we divide 945 by 10, we get 94 as a quotient and 5 as a remainder. So what happens when we divide any number by 10? So we are dividing the number into 94 different parts of size 10, right? Exactly this is what we are doing here. And we are getting remainder as 5 because 5 is less than 10. So it cannot be divided by 10. That's why we get 94 as a quotient and 5 as a remainder. And we are in a decimal system. In number system, there are different types of systems like binary system, decimal system, octal system, hexadecimal system. Right now we are in decimal system, and in decimal system there are only 10 digits, 0 to 9. For that reason, the base of decimal system is 10. That's why when we divide any number by 10, we get a number as a quotient and another number as a remainder. And the property of 10 is that if we want to remove the last digit of a number, we simply divide a number by 10 and it simply removes the last digit of a number. So this is all about the property of 10. Now let's move on and use this property to write an algorithm to solve this problem. The idea is simple. First we initialize a count variable to 0. Then we divide the number by 10 again and again. And each time we increment the value of count by 1. And we repeat this process until a number becomes 0. Got it? Okay. Let's move on to see the implementation of this algorithm. So this is the implementation of the algorithm discussed above. So what we are doing in this function, we have written a function count digits and we are passing number n to this function. Here we are initializing a count variable with 0 and we are using while loop here. So this while loop continues to run until n becomes 0. And in each iteration, what we are doing in while loop that we are incrementing count by 1 and we divide number by 10 again and again. So when n becomes 0, this while loop stops and we simply return the count variable. Okay, now let's quickly see the dry run of this function. So let's say the value of n is 954 as discussed in the example and the initial value of count is 0. In first iteration our value of n is 945, so our loop checks that 945 is greater than 0. This condition becomes true. So we enter into the loop. Now inside of loop, what we are doing, we are just increment the count by 1. So the value of count becomes 1 and then we are simply dividing n by 10. So now the value of n becomes 94. Now in second iteration again the while loop checks if n is greater than 0. So this time also our n is 94, the condition becomes true, and our value of count becomes 2 and the value of n becomes 9. In third iteration, our value of 9 again greater than 0. That's why the value of count incremented by 1 and it becomes 3, and now the value of n becomes 0 because 9 divided by 10, it gives you 0. In fourth iteration, the n is 0. 0 greater than 0 becomes false and this loop stops here, and this function returns the value of count as 3. So this is how we simply used simple math to solve this problem. So this is it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.